Yo, what's up guys? We're back with another video today, and guys, apologies for making this delay on this video. I've had trouble with the video editing, a lot of that stuff, but that's what I'm not here to talk about, guys. What I am here to talk about is what's next for these fighters, particularly for the fighters from UFC 311. I'm going to be covering most of the winners and some of the losers from the card. So we're going to start from the main event to the prelims. Alright, for their main event, Islam Makhachev. I think that Islam Makhachev should fight Charles Oliveira. Now hear me out. Should it be Arman Tsarukyan? Yes. Theoretically it should be. But Dana White said that Arman's not going to get a title shot, probably because he screwed over the company one day before the event happened. Now, this could maybe change. Maybe Dana White changes his mind. Maybe he gets convinced. We'll see what happens. But if Arman's not going to fight for the title, I think that it should be Charles Oliveira. Because let me ask you guys, would you guys not mind to see Charles Oliveira get a title shot for Islam Makhachev? Tell me you wouldn't be excited about that. Be honest, would you be excited to see Charles Oliveira fight for the belt again? Because I know I would. I know I would love to see Charles Oliveira potentially get the belt back. Because I think he's improved a lot since their last fight. I think his wrestling has got a little bit better. I think his striking's gotten a little bit better. I think his jiu-jitsu is obviously top game as usual. And I feel like that Charles Oliveira's gotten more experience. I feel like after the Arman loss, he knew that he had to improve his wrestling because he was getting out-wrestled by these guys. So I think he definitely knew he had to improve on it. And I honestly think he did with that Michael Chandler fight. Now, obviously, in an ideal world, I would like Arman to get the title shot, but that's probably not going to happen. I have a feeling Arman might have to fight one more guy. Maybe it's going to be like a Gamrot, Michael Chandler. We'll see what happens, but I hope it's not Justin Gaethje, because I've heard some people say it might be Justin Gaethje, because if he gets a win over Dan Hooker, Gaethje's manager, who's also the same manager as Islam Makhachev, says that this would be the most logical matchup, which is just so brain dead. It's actually the dumbest take I have ever seen. It should not happen. Gaethje should not get a title shot. He should fight like 2 more fights before he gets a title shot. That is even if he beats Hooker. But Gaethje aside, it should be Charles Oliveira in my opinion. I would love to see Islam versus Charles Oliveira too. Now for Reneer Moicano. Obviously Reneer Moicano, he got some in the first round by Islam Makhachev. You know, it sucks to see. It stinks for him as a Moicano fan. But honestly, this is a good opportunity for now for Reneer Moicano versus Paddy Pimblett. I've been wanting this fight, and a lot of people have been wanting this fight for a long time. These two would be trash-talking each other like crazy. The build-up would be insane. They could have done an Ultimate Fighter season with these two guys, but they went with DC and Chael Sonnen. You know, that's alright. I'll like it. I'll watch the season, but I would have much more preferred Reneer Moicano and a Paddy Pimblett Ultimate Fighter season. But regardless, if you put these guys on a pay-per-view card, you can then have a press conference with these two, and these two would be chatting so much at each other. It would be amazing. And I think it's very close between both of these two. I don't know who I go for. I'm not discrediting Reneer Moicano after he lost to Islam, because it's Islam into 1 day's notice. Like, I can't really say Reneer looked terrible. It's a 1 day's notice. Like, come on. But I don't know who to go for. I might be leaning towards Reneer Moicano. Maybe that's just because I'm biased, and this fight may not happen, but Dana has to make this fight. I feel like this would be a perfect fight to build Paddy Pimblett or to put Reneer Moicano back on the winning column. Alright, now for the co-main event, Merab Dvalishvili. Merab obviously humbled Umar Nurmagomedov. He took the undefeated record of one of the Nurmagomedovs. I'm so happy. A lot of people are. If I were to make a video describing how happy I am for Merab to take away one of these Dagestanian wins, we'd be here for like 10 hours, guys. But we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about who Merab should fight next. I honestly think that Merab should fight Sean O'Malley. I do see the reason why Peter Yan should get a title shot, but realistically, it's not going to be like that. I think that Sean O'Malley's going to get a title shot because, for one, he's a bigger star. He did a better performance against Merab than Umar, in my opinion. And I think that O'Malley would do better against Merab in a rematch because, in all honesty, I think O'Malley looked a little bit off. He looked a little bit stiff. He looked a little bit like, I don't know how to describe it. Then he just looked really stiff and he just looked off. Like, he really did. I think O'Malley could potentially beat Merab, but at the same time, Merab's gas tank is just a monster. He really has an unbeatable pace. I've also seen some people saying that Pantoja versus Merab is the next fight. I don't really want to see that, to be honest. I'm not that interested in that fight. It would be fun, but I just don't see that matchup at all. I'd be very surprised if that was the case, but yeah, I'd say do Merab versus O'Malley too. Alright, for Umar Nurmagomedov, I think Umar Nurmagomedov should fight Pirion solely because this would just be an amazing high-level mixed martial arts fight right here. Both of these guys are extremely well-rounded with their skills. They both are, I'd say 1 to 2 more fights away from the title shot. I think whoever wins this, you could say that they fight for the belt again. Definitely for Pirion. For Umar, well, if Umar were to beat Pirion, he would probably have to fight one more fight before he fights for a title. But I have a feeling that because he's got the last name in his name, they would just, if Umar were to beat Pirion, they would just give him another title shot because it's Nurmagomedov's, you know, Dagestanian privilege. But I think that this is low-key a really close fight. I could somewhat see a world where Pirion beats Umar because I think Pirion's more skilled. But we'll see. I hope this fight does get made. I could very much see this fight being made. If Merab versus O'Malley were to get announced, I could 100% confirm that this would be the next fight, to be honest. And I think that this fight should be a 5-rounder. This should not be a 3-rounder. These guys are very high level. Under no circumstance, do not make this a 3-round fight. I would lose my mind. It's like when they did O'Malley versus Peter Yan when they made that a 3-rounder. That was just terrible. And I think making this a 5-rounder really shows like the high level skill set of both of these guys right here. All right, now for Jiri Prochazka, this might be a little bit surprise to you guys. I've seen a lot of people say that Jiri should fight the winner between Jan Blachowicz and Carlos Ulberg, but I don't think that. I think that Jiri Prochazka should fight Khalil Rountree. Tell me you would not love this fight right here. Tell me you could just not imagine a full violence war between these two. This is one of those fights where you just know there's absolutely no way this is going to a decision. None of Yuri's fights ever go to a decision. Whenever you're in a fight with Jiri, that's never going to happen. But any hope of Jiri going to a decision is just not feasible if this fight were to be made. This would be like the most violent, most insane matchup you could see right here. You know, you have the Muay Thai fighter versus the Samurai. I could see so much market. This would literally be an amazing fight right here. I could see this being a fight night main event, and it would be, the fans would be so spoiled if this was a fight night, because this would be literally like you could have the rest of the card terrible, but if you had this as a fight night main event, people would still watch it because both of these guys are so well liked, they're so skilled, and they're just so entertaining when they fight. Alright, now for Jamahal Hill. Now, Jamahal Hill, he obviously got TKO'd by Jiri Prochazka. Now people were saying that Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree makes more sense. I agree with that, but at the same time, I don't. If Jamahal Hill were to fight Khalil Rountree, I wouldn't be upset with that. But me personally, I would rather like to see Jamahal Hill fighting the winner of Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. I think especially if Carlos Ulberg wins, definitely do Jamahal Hill versus Carlos Ulberg. I think that would be a really good test for both of them right there. But if Jan Blachowicz were to win, okay, we'll do Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree, and then we'll do Jan Blachowicz versus Jiri Prochazka. This is just me assuming that Ulberg were to win. But again, we could see what happens. I wouldn't low-key mind Jamahal Hill versus Jan Blachowicz. I think that would actually be a pretty good fight for both of them. All right, now for Jailton Almeida, guys. Listen, Jailton Almeida, he destroyed Sergey Spivak in the first round. Let's feed him. Let's give him Ciryl Gane. You know, let's give him an easy win right here. This is a pretty easy win for Jailton Almeida, guys. You know, after Ciryl Gane got a win over Volkov, my boy Volkov, I'm so upset about that. Give Ciryl Gane Jailton Almeida, and he'll get some in the first round. I don't care. If this fight doesn't get made and Ciryl Gane gets another title shot or a blob fight, I'm gonna lose my mind. He should not fight anyone besides Jailton Almeida. This is his punishment after looking horrible against Volkov and then getting a robbery win. I don't think that this fight, I could see this fight being made at a UFC Paris event, But judging by like how long it takes for Cyril Gane to return, they'll probably make this around August or September. Which honestly, based on the rate between John Jones and Tom Aspinall, how long that fight's gonna take, that seems like a pretty good track. That seems like a good time for this fight to be made, to be honest. All right, my boy Reneer D Ryder submitted Kevin Holland. I'm honestly a Kevin Holland hater. I don't like Kevin Holland, so I'm glad RDR won. Now, as far as who he should fight, it should be Bo Nickel, guys. This is my dream fight. Let me explain to you guys, alright? Reneer D Ryder is basically the new Dricus du Plessis of the division. Bo Nickel is the new version of Khamzat Chimaev. Do you guys get where I'm going with this? This would be the Walmart version of Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. Tell me this isn't a fight you would want to see. Come on. Come on. Come on. Am I cooking right here? Am I not? Come on. I feel like I'm cooking right here. I feel like this would be an amazing test for both of these guys. In all honesty, I think that it's very close. I could see either one of these two winning. I think the winner of this would definitely fight someone in the top 15. I don't think RDR should fight someone in the rankings yet. I could see them doing that because he submitted Kevin Holland, and Kevin Holland is a big name, and he was previously fighting in the rankings. But nah, I don't see that happening. I think RDR should honestly, I think he needs to fight one more unranked fighter before he fights someone in the rankings, to be quite honest with you. Alright, Ronnie Barcelos. Now, he obviously humbled Payton Talbott, who was a minus 1,400, my add you. So, very good job for him, As also a plus 700 underdog, I think was, which is like what? If we had to equivalent that to like a percentage, that basically means you're there's no chance of you winning. The chances of you winning are like 100%, but that did not happen. Now, as far as who you give him, you can't give him someone in the rankings. You can't give him like a high name, because if you were to give him like Cody Garbrandt, he'd just get KO'd, if I'm gonna be quite honest with you. So I think let's give him a relatively easy fight, I'd say. Let's give him Miles Johns, I feel. I'm really I don't know who exactly to give him to, because if I were to give him to like Cody Garbrandt would KO him, because he's like the biggest name in the unranking spot of the bantamweight division. So I can't give him that. I could give him maybe Raul Rosas, but that's another big name, and I think Raul Rosas would smoke Barcelos. So I think that the best option you could give him is a fight he could win, and a decent name. It's really hard with this guy, because this guy's not like anything special, besides the fact that he humbled Payton Talbott, to be quite honest. He doesn't have any big draw. He's very old. He's very slow. Yeah, there's not much you can really do with this guy. So I just say give him Miles Johns, honestly. Or just anyone, to be quite honest with you. I just picked Miles Johns because the dude lost in December. And I think this would make a good scheduling fight. But we'll see. Alright, now as far as Payton Talbott goes, this guy, first of all, if we have to give him another fight, we can't give him any grapplers. We can't give this guy any grapplers. We have to give him pure strikers. Now, I think that he should fight someone to get bounce back. I'm gonna be nice to Payton Talbott, even though he was a minus 1,000 favorite, and he basically got 50-45, guys. He basically got 50-45. This guy is I don't know who you can give him, to be honest. You can't. I mean, maybe Cody Garbrandt, because that is a big name, and Payton Talbott's a big name. But honestly, I think realistically, we should give him a bounce back win, to be quite honest. I think Ricky Turcos is a good name for him. That's a good win for him to get back on the winning column. Because Ricky is not a grappler of any sorts. He's just a striker. And in his last fight, he was basically a punching bag, to be honest. And Payton Talbott does have knockout powers. So I'd say give Payton Talbott Ricky Turcos. And I say book this soon. Because in order for Payton Talbott to get back on the hype train, he needs to fight 4 more times this year, to be quite honest with you. Otherwise, he's cooked. He's cooked. I mean, he's already cooked, but if he fights once this year, it's over for him, to be honest. Alright, now for Bogdan Guskov, guys. Bogdan Guskov, he obviously submitted Billy in the first round, or the second round, sorry. And there's not much you could really say how impressive that was, because it was like on a short notice and the dude was like 5 pounds lighter than him. But I don't think that you should rebook him versus Johnny Walker, because I think Johnny Walker should move up to heavyweight. I've said this before and I will say it again. Johnny Walker is too big for the light heavyweight division. He's like 6'5". He's taller than Alex Pereira, and he's like cutting all of his like fat muscle to make weight. He's like bones when he's on the scale, and he's getting knocked out every time. So I think that he should fight heavyweight. And as far as Bogdan Guskov goes, I think him versus Volkan Oezdemir, a rematch would be great, because when Bogdan Guskov fought Volkov, that was also on a short notice. And I think Bogdan Guskov has improved a lot since their last fight. So I think have this on a fight night co-main event, to be honest. And I don't know who would win this. I feel like Bogdan Guskov has improved relatively good since like they last fought, and again, that was also on a short notice, guys. But I could see Volkan Oezdemir winning this fight, but we'll see. I don't know where you give, I don't know who you give Bogdan Guskov right now, but my opinion, I feel like Volkan Oezdemir is a good fight for him. All right, now finally, Grant Dawson. Now Grant Dawson obviously beat Diego Sanchez. He used his superior wrestling to win a comfortable 30-27. I think that the best fight for him is to fight Beneil Dariush. I think that Grant Dawson's low-key underrated. I think that he could honestly beat Beneil Dariush, because while Beneil does have good scrambles and he is a better striker than Grant Dawson, I feel like that Grant Dawson could win this somehow. I feel like his wrestling is much better than people give him credit for, and I feel like Beneil Dariush is not in his prime anymore. Whereas I feel like Grant Dawson is now reaching his prime. I feel like he's improved a lot since the Bobby Green fight where he got chinned. How do you get chinned by Bobby Green, to be quite honest with you, though? But yeah, I feel like for this fight, and honestly, I feel like do this on the Miami card, because Grant Dawson did call out Beneil Dariush after he won against Diego Sanchez, and Beneil Dariush had to pull off his fight, so I feel like this is a good opportunity. I feel like that's a good call out, and I feel like that's a good place to like fight him in Miami and all that stuff. And I don't know who to go for, but I think you could have that on a pay-per-view, to be honest. But guys, that is me covering what's next for these fighters for UFC 311. Let me know what you guys think, who these guys should fight. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Peace!